Hello?
Welcome to Cry School.
Cool.
Follow me.
Your future is coming for you. But don't worry, we'll get you ready.
I'm Mary Jane Morrison. I teach English. This is my 30th year, Cry School.
And I'm Lee Harris. I work in the math department and the outdoor program, and this is my 29th year at Cry School.
During my time here, I've seen many changes at Cry School. We've seen, obviously, the renovation of the chapel, renovation of the dining hall.
Not only have the students and our population grown, but the buildings have also grown and become much better. The campus is today much different than it was when we first came here.
The hallmark for me of Cry School is we are always moving forward, yet we're maintaining our traditions. And there's something about the Cry School student, I think, that's very endearing, and that has been a constant.
It's not so much the academics as it is the values and the morals that we're trying to create here for them to become good husbands, good companions, good fathers. And so I think that that is part of what the school is all about, and part of what going forward the school's going to continue to do.
People that we've remained friends with through the years, the faculty that have gone on to other places, the thing they always say is, I really like it here, but I've never found a community like Cry School. And I think that's as true for we, the faculty, as it is for the students. And I think that's why the students come back.
We've had an outdoor chapel nestled right on the edge of the lake ever since I arrived. But what once was just a clearing in the woods and barely big enough for 50 or 60 people, now is a beautiful space, a very sacred space for everyone here that allows us to enjoy the beauty of this setting here in the mountains, but now can accommodate the entire community.
Life is short, and we do not know how much time we will have to gladden the hearts of those who travel this way with us. So be swift to love. Make haste to be kind. And may God, who is beyond our ability to fully understand, but who knows us and loves us, and travels with us, bless us and keep us in peace. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be upon you and remain with you always. Amen.
It's really gratifying for me as a coach who started the program, but I think even more so the players that have played here for the past 16 years, not just this team, but guys that played in 2002, 2003, and so on. It solidified in how important this experience was for so many, and I think that's why. That's why I coach. You want this to be something important, something memorable, and something that you can look back on years later and be proud of. And I think that's what we've done, and I think our players this year have been able to link alums from all years and celebrate it.
All right, let's give it up for the first time in school history.
I knew in the locker room this would be ours today. So proud of the effort, from November on, every single one of you. Today was emblematic of who we are. Everyone played their role perfectly, and we got it done, boys. First ever state championship. Let's go! 1, 2, 3, together!
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome. It's playoff time on the Christ School Broadcast Network. I'm Bobby Long alongside Thomas McIntosh, bringing you this NCISA semifinal matchup between the Greenies of Christ School and the Ravens of Ravenscroft. Christ School comes into the game looking for win number 20 on the season, but more importantly, a fourth consecutive trip to the state championship. The Ravens, on the other hand, come into this game with a record of 12-5 overall. The Ravens have won 3 consecutive games and have scored 54 goals in those games. The Greenies and the Ravens faced off a few weeks ago, and Christ School came away with a 19-8 victory in that matchup. Thomas, what do you expect to see from the two teams today?
Well, Bobby, this is a huge game. Talking to Coach Miles this whole week, this is the playoffs. He just wants his team to get good looks on offense, especially staying focused for the playoffs. Playoffs, brings out the best in teams during this time, and so you're going to really see Ravenscroft, more fuel to the fire. They're going to have a lot to prove, because you did say they did get beat by 18-9.
Yeah, 19-8. In that game, we saw some great play from Christ School, early and often. But, it like we said, it is playoff time. You lose and you're out here. So look for the Ravens to come out strong. I think Christ School had 4 quick goals in that game, which really kind of set the tone. But I'd be surprised to see that same thing happen today. Some of the names we need to look out for: number 4, Jake Schneider. He's been great for the Ravens all year, a Dodger at the midfield position, as well as number 22, Jack Barnes. So look for those names to be some of the ones that we call today. And I don't know, heading into this, we're looking for the winner of this game will play either Providence Day or Charlotte Country Day. If the Ravens were to win, they would play on the road this Saturday. If Christ School were to win, they would host a third consecutive state championship. Talk a little bit about the importance of having the playoffs at home, Thomas.
So having the playoffs at home is really important because, 3 years ago we saw Christ School play the state championship at Ravenscroft. And, Ravenscroft was able to come out with a victory, and then the following year Christ School was able to get home field advantage the following 2 years, and was able to just go off on a scoring spree, and also just winning 2 consecutive state championships, and pretty handily at that as well. And, it makes a big difference rather than traveling the whole day.
Yeah, you're right. And actually the last game that Christ School lost in the NCISA was that game against Ravenscroft 3 years ago. So certainly they wouldn't want it to be the Ravens here again. But we're going to have a great game here today. We're about to bring you this matchup. We'll have the national anthem first, and we'll be back to bring you this semifinal matchup between Christ School and Ravenscroft. All right, we are almost underway here. Christ School will be in white. The Ravens of Ravenscroft will be in green. We'll see shortly which direction the teams will be going. Looks like Christ School will be going from left to right on your screens, and Ravens from right to left. As we mentioned, the Greenies come into this game 19-2 overall. Only teams that they've fallen to this year were Lake Norman 8-4 and then Weddington 10-5, the 2 top public schools in the state. Both of those teams currently ranked in the top 20 in the nation. Christ School coming in at 31 overall. Taking the face-off for Christ School is Sean Dow, who's at about 82% on the season. So a huge matchup. throughout this game that we'll be looking for. He comes away with the first one. That was Jake Schneider, or excuse me, that was Patrick Johnson, who was matched up against him in the face-off circle. Jack Harrison got a step, hands free, shot. Great save there by number 30. Good hustle there from Jack Fitch. And the Ravens will have their first offensive possession after getting a touch here. So offensively, we see number 11, 22, 18, 4. And we'll get some of these names throughout the day, but that was Jack Barnes with the ball. This is Jake Schneider, the dodging midfielder we've been told to look out for. Guarding him will be Hagen Brooks, the LSM. Schneider likes to get to his right hand. Good defense so far. And that's going to be good job there by Will McNichols to get in front of the goal. Wide open goal as Bo Hakmovich had come out to try and stop it. But Marcus Berger here looking to get the clear and the touch. And he will do that. So on offense now with the ball on the far side of the field, that's number 22, Davis Lindsay. Joining him offensively, we have Sam Bassett, Jack Fitch, Coles Manning, Jack Harrison, and coming onto the field, number 25, Sean Dow. So, Thomas, we know about what Sean Dow is able to do from the face-off circle. Why do you think, what did Coach Miles say this week about putting him on the offensive side of the ball as well?
Well, you know, Sean Dow is only a sophomore, as we know. He's been a huge impact for this team and a real spark plug for the offense. And just getting him more, more playing time in the playoffs as well. And, unfortunately, we saw Zach Grindy go down with an injury. He's a senior, but we know things can happen as Davis Lindsay is able to score a goal right there. But as I was saying, it's good to just have a plan B as far as players go.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the first goal for Christ School, first goal of the game. Davis Lindsay, 65 goals on the season. He sits at 119 points, just one goal away from tying the single-season record set by Will Iorio in 2017. So first goal of the game, Davis Lindsay able to get inside, hands-free, shot, scored, bouncer, and Greenies lead 1-0 over Ravenscroft. So back to the face-off circle, we have Johnson and Dow. Dow able to come away with it, has a step as Jack Harrison shot from far, bouncer will go wide. Greenies will retain possession. So we see Parker Bird coming on offensively. The sophomore from Cary. Coles Manning with a good pick. Had a step, thought about it, gives it up to Davis Lindsay. That's Jack Harrison. Nice little bouncer there, and he'll score. Greenies lead 2-0. So quick 2 goals for Christ School. Both were kind of one-on-one plays. What have we seen so far early that has allowed them to get those 2 goals, Thomas?
Well, they're really spreading the ball around. They're taking their time, as Coach Miles wanted this whole playoff during the playoffs. And Jack Harrison is very agile and is able to get by the defense very quickly there. And now we're right back there here with Sean Dow.
Yeah, great job coming around GLE, able to get his hands free. Great dodger is Jack Harrison. So 2-0. Another face-off win from Sean Dow has made it look early so far. So Sean Dow gives it up to Patrick Bird. He has a step himself, gives it up to Sam Bassett, and looks like that will most likely be a turnover. So Ravens will look to get the clear, and Christ will look to get the ride here defensively. They've done a good job of it throughout the year. They set a goal, I believe, around like 40% this year, trying to get the rides here. Lindsay putting pressure on, but Ross Wyman able to come away with it.
Talking about the possession or the percentages of rides, they have been able to do that very well, actually. If you look at time of possession just from this whole season on offense, and defense hasn't really been able to do much or hasn't had much action, and I think that's a good thing considering how successful their offense is.
Yeah, definitely important for them to get as much rest as possible. And honestly, the only 2 games in which I don't believe Christ School won possession were those 2 losses against Lake Norman and Weddington. So far here in the early going, a lot of possession for Christ School. And Will McNichols, headed to University of Utah, able to force the turnover. So great job there by him. And the Ravens will call a timeout. So 2-0 Ravens lead. Excuse me. The Ravens trail with 8 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So good 4 first minutes for Christ School, able to have the early 2-0 lead. Offensively, though, they have had 2 turnovers. So you want to make sure you try and get a shot off in every possession. Haven't been able to do that. But in a good position with just 4 minutes off the clock in the first quarter.
And Ravenscroft isn't in a bad position at all. You said down 2. They almost were able to come away with a goal with that empty net down when they had the possession earlier. So, if they're able to just, have a solid couple of possessions on defense, they can really turn around this game.
And as they say, a lot of time left for both of these teams here. Good job here by Parker Bird. Greenies able to get through the defense. That's Davis Lindsay with the ball. Surveying the field. No one sees Fitch on the far side of the field. Davis Lindsay over to Sam Bassett. Bassett shoots, but easy save for the Ravens. Sam Bassett, just a freshman, comes into the game with 59 goals on the season, which is a freshman record for Christ School. That one's going to be over the head of the offensive player, but it looks like Kevin Masson able to come away with it, and Coach Miles able to call a timeout to save possession. So just about a minute later, 7:20 left in the first quarter. Greenies still lead 2-0. Set play here by Christ School. They've got numbers. McNichols over to Jack Harrison. Parker Bird thought about it, but another turnover for Christ School. And that's number 25, Val Edwards, going the other way. Marcus Berger, number 12, trying to get back in position. Shot goes off the inside of the post, no goal. And now Marcus Berger headed the other way. So two, real close goal chances for the Ravens, unable to put them away. Let's see what Christ School is able to do here. Turned it over on their last two possessions. As offensively, that's Coles Manning with the ball over to Jack Fitch, Davis Lindsay. Lindsay normally spends the majority of his time behind the goal. Parker Bird, the lefty, gets a step, gets free shot, another save from the Ravens. Third save of the game for him. So good couple minutes here for the Ravens, able to force a couple turnovers. Had some good shot opportunities, just unfortunately none of them have fallen yet. But that's number 4, Jake Schneider with the ball. Joining him, we see Barnes, see 17, Ben Kerner, see number 11, as Charlie Enlow scored a couple goals against Christ School last time he was here. Number 18 with the step, good kick save by Hekimovich. And Riley Pretter, number 18, also on offense for the Ravens, scored a couple goals against Christ School. I believe it was 3 goals and 2 assists last time we were here. But a turnover. Whistle was blown, I believe. Nope, there it is. So team moving now. That's Jack Fitch. Gives it up to Lindsay. Lindsay surveying. Good dodge. And that one was tipped away, but they'll call it a shot opportunity there. So good couple slides here from the Ravens. Rotations have been quick since the first 2 goals were scored, but Davis Lindsay, and they'll throw in a bouncer. That goal will be scored, so Davis Lindsay, another goal, his 66th of the year, and Greenies lead 3-0 over the Ravens. 5:08 left in the first quarter.
That was a great physical possession there. I mean, you saw Davis Lindsay trying to press and get in front of the goalie, but the defender wouldn't let up. But Lindsay, credit to him just sticking with the play.
Yeah, his head got kind of pushed back there for a second, but able to kind of fight through it and score nonetheless. So Greenies lead 3-0. Back to the face-off. That's Johnson, Sean Dow. And Parker Johnson will get his first face-off win of the game. Great job there. Let's see if the Ravens are able to take advantage. That's Val Edwards with the ball now. Over to Pretter. Patrick Johnson coming off the field victorious after that face-off win. Great job by him there. That's Grant Majewski playing defense. Good slide from Kevin Masson, looking to knock it away. Double team there, successful. And Kevin Masson on the move here, looking to give it up to Jack Harrison. And the Greenies will slow things up and run a play here. So, pass over to Sam Bassett. Bassett scores, rips it top shelf. Great pass from Jack Harrison. 1 goal, 1 assist for Harrison. And another goal for Sam Bassett on the season. His 60th goal on the season. And the Greenies lead 4-0 over Ravenscroft. So, Thomas, it doesn't really matter what sport it is. Turnovers are always going to be a huge part of the game. And if you can limit turnovers and turn those into shot attempts, most of the time you're going to be successful. A couple of tough turnovers here for the Ravens, especially after having 2 shots, 1 ricochet off the inside of the goal, and then another off a defensive player with an open goal. So really going to need to limit those turnovers heading here into the second half of the first quarter.
Absolutely.
So that's Coles Manning with the ball, looking to dodge. Great slide there by Ross Wyman. Sam Bassett gives it up quick. Davis Lindsay over to Jack Harrison. Harrison already with a goal in this game. Fitch, Bird, both sophomore and a junior. Good defense there by Mac Nelson. Lindsay finds Bassett. Good defense there by number 24, Matt Hunter. And they're off and running in the other direction. So great defense to force the turnover. trying to find the open man. Unfortunately, that one is going to be a turnover. So right idea, but there's going to be a penalty called, I believe. This looks like it's going to be a hit to the head, so man up opportunity for the Ravens, and probably why he turned it over there. But he did the right thing. He drew the slide, tried to get it to the open offensive player, unable to do so. But they will now be in man up. So on offense, we have Predator, Edwards, number 28, Ross Wyman, Schneider, Kerner, and number 22, Jack Barnes. So we don't see Enlow, who scored a couple of goals against Christ School last game. But defensively, that's Will McNichols on the ball. Hagen Brooks, Kevin Masson, James Lilly, and Marcus Berger. Ravens doing a good job moving the ball. Say 1 minute penalty. Good job there by Lilly to get back into it. Schneider surveying, trips, stays out of the circle. That one looks like it was saved or off the post again. Penalty is released. Greenie's able to kill it, and that's Will McNichols going the other way. And a great job there. Great play by McNichols. Parker Bird off to the races. So Marcus Berger, short stick midi. Primarily we see him on defense, staying on offense here. Parker Bird looking to get to the left hand. But a good slide by Nelson, and that shot was ripped. Scored by Coles Manning, and the Greenies lead 5-0 over the Ravens. Just 1 minute and 46 seconds left. And a huge goal there by Coles Manning.
Yeah, great awareness, or just to be able to stay put and be patient. Parker Bird was being shifty and getting a lot of attention. He did a good job of dishing the ball out. And Coles Manning, we don't really talk about Coles a lot, but he's just a good impact player for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Found himself wide open in the interior, had space, had time, and able to convert. Goalie didn't see it, and the Ravens trail 5-0. Back to the face-off circle, Sean Dow. And let's see, an important 2 minutes for both teams. Christ School looking to lengthen the lead. Ravens, have had a couple shots that just haven't been converted. 2 off the post, as well as that open goal that went off one of the defensive players of Christ School. So, 2 of those goals go down. It is a very different game. But as we said earlier, a lot of time left.
This is where time of possession kind of kills Ravenscroft here. As
Sam Bassett gets free. Sorry, shot, score. Sam Bassett. He was able to get a step there. And, I just love the variety of offense we've seen so far from Christ School. Able to score from all over the field. Sam Bassett puts another one home there. And one of the things I talked about with Coach Miles yesterday was that, Sam Bassett isn't the quickest of players that we see on the Christ School team, but he is so good with the stick. He's got great hand-eye coordination. And, he is shooting. Let's see, I have the stats here. He's shooting over 60% on the season, and that's not including these 2 goals that he scored today. So, anywhere from like 40% is pretty solid, as Patrick Johnson found himself going early there. Greenies lead 6-0, minute left. That's Marcus Berger. Berger, lefty, thought about it. Shot scored. Wasn't sure what happened there. It looks like it might have gotten stuck in the dirt for a second, but Marcus Berger able to come away with a goal of his own. And tough couple of minutes here. We talked about last 2 minutes are very important, but leaving early on the face-off X, and Marcus Berger, nobody kind of picked him up there. So able to come away with a huge goal to lengthen the lead, 7-0. Marcus Berger with a great lefty shot there.
Well, when it rains, it pours, especially for Christ School when they score goals, and already 7 goals in the first. Ravens have quite the hole to dig themselves out of.
Yeah, I can't say that I expected this. Honestly, I know that we talked about it was a great week of practice for Christ School. They were out there early as shot attempt by downhill Doherty, they call him. Once he gets the ball, he goes as fast as he can. Normally he's able to beat a defender and get a good shot off. Wasn't able to score, but definitely put pressure on the Ravens. So Sam Bassett behind the goal finds Jack Harrison, who finds the back of the net, able to rip one there, and Sam Bassett goal. Sam Bassett with the assist. Jack Harrison with the goal. And, man, an impressive quarter from Christ School so far.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Coach Miles has been doing really well with this program, building up players. We've seen goals from Coles Manning, Marcus Berger, Jack Harrison, Davis Lindsay, Sam Bassett. I mean, if you're the defense, I mean, you can't really focus on one player because just another player will get loose.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we talked about throughout this year is just the amount of depth that Christ School has at every position. Sean Dow, who's been fantastic as Patrick Johnson, able to come away with a great face-off win there. But even behind Sean Dow is Colin Schott. But then we have 4 or 5 short stick middies who can play both offense and defense. And then you have 6 or 7 guys who have scored quite a few goals. In fact, I want to say there's at least 9 or 10 guys over 10 goals on the season and 3 guys over 60. So when you have that kind of offensive output, defensively, you got to feel pretty good if you're in goal. As a flag flies, so it'll be the end of the quarter, and I imagine they will start the second quarter. Actually, 2 flags on the field, so we'll see what happens here. Heading into the second quarter, Christ School finds themselves leading 8-0 over the Ravens of Ravenscroft in this NCISAA semifinal. We'll be back in about a minute to bring you the second quarter. Greenies will probably be 1 or 2 men down. All right, so coming into the second quarter, it'll just be 1 man down. That penalty was on Grant Majewski. We weren't able to see exactly what the call was, but Greenies will probably be man down for about a minute. Ravens will be heading in the other direction this quarter from left to right on your screen. So we see Predator, Edwards, Jack Barnes, Schneider, and Ross Wyman. That's him with on the far side of the field. Good defense from McNichols. Greenies need to communicate here, and does stay in bounds. So great job by Barnes to track that one down before the turnover. Shot scored, ripped there by Jake Schneider. And the Ravens are on the board, 8-1 here in the early going. And that's what happens when you commit penalties. And a awesome rowing celebration there by the Ravens, getting into it on the sideline. And I think that's actually one of the things we talked about in the game a couple weeks ago. You know, I think Christ School was up 19-3 at one point. But I say that not to talk trash, Thomas, but instead to mention I was so impressed by the Ravens and the amount of enthusiasm on the bench.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of times, you know, when your team's losing, you can tell a lot about a team and how they respond in situations like that. As another face-off win for Patrick Johnson, his third of the game. And you can hear him right now. They're going nuts. Jake Schneider, Dodger, great move, scores. Wow. And a huge start to the second quarter as the Ravens score there. And 2 quick goals. We mentioned he was a guy that we're going to have to worry about, and he has shown us exactly why. You know, and when this team is moving the ball, they're tough to stop. They're able to move it on during the man-up situation.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Jake Schneider, he's just been, you know, going off. This is exactly the way you want to start the second quarter. And, you know, he is a senior, so in the playoffs, you never know if it is your last game. So it's good to see that he's giving it his all here.
Yeah, absolutely. Not quite sure. I remember I was told before, as Sean Dow will get the face-off win here as Johnson goes early. Not sure where Snyder's going to play lacrosse. I know he is, though. And when you have that kind of talent on your team, you know, the rest of the team will follow. As that's Davis Lindsay. Oh, I do not like to see that. It looks, couldn't tell if that was a lower leg injury or he got hit below the waist. I think that's what it is. So he is down right now. And we certainly never want to speculate. But, yeah, okay. Just based on where his hand is, I will imagine that he got hit in a place where you don't like to get hit, Thomas. And fortunately, not an injury that will keep him, well, we don't know that for sure, but keep him out of this game. But tough situation there. Davis, obviously, you know, over 307 points in his career, just a junior. So in terms of a guy you want on the field, he is that guy for Christ School. But we'll see what happens for the rest of the game here as Jack Harrison coming on. Good slide there, but not quick enough as Parker Bird able to put that one home. And Jack Harrison just in complete feeder mode, finding his teammates. 2 assists for Jack Harrison. And Parker Bird, who had an assist earlier in the game to Coles Manning, able to put that one home as well. So Greenies able to respond after Lindsay went down. But hoping he's going to get back in it here.
That's the unfortunate thing that happens in games. You know, a player may go down. You just got to stay focused, and, you know, Christ School is able to do that there. And now we see Sean Dow here up against Patrick Johnson.
Yeah, Sean Dow, he is moving here. That's Sean Dow. Parker Bird, give him another one. Parker Bird, 2 goals in about 7 seconds. And after giving up 2 quick goals in the first 2 minutes of this quarter, they have responded. And Parker Bird, you know, but all of that was really Sean Dow's doing there.
Absolutely, yeah, and great way to respond. Ravenscroft scored 2 quick goals there, and Christ School was able to respond very quickly, you know, with, I believe, 3 of their own.
Yeah, you know, we talked about what Sean's able to do, especially from the face-off X. You know, he's got 20 assists on the season, 82%. Certainly been one of the most valuable players for Christ School so far this season, and as another face-off win. So just a couple of big minutes for Christ School, able to respond after giving up those 2 quick goals. Dodenhoff shot goes off the post there, but Greenie's able to track it down. Good play defensively there from the Ravens. Ravens looking for a penalty as Harrison got a hold of Edwards there, or excuse me, Nelson, able to push him back. 20 seconds to get it over here. And they do it just in time. Still need to get a touch. Haven't done it yet. And it looks like Jack Harrison's stick, excuse me, that's Jack Fitch's stick broke. But Predator playing tough here. Able to get a step, but great coming. Oh, man, another penalty is called here. So 2 back-to-back penalties from Christ School. Looks like they will be 2 men down going into this situation here. So 9 minutes, 27 seconds left in the second quarter, and Christ School lead is still 8, but it is 10-2 here. So we're waiting here on the call. We'll see what it is. This looks like a 30-second penalty on both Dodenhoff and Jack Harrison. So they're able to score in the last man-up opportunity by moving the ball, getting it to Schneider. Let's see what happens here. Predator Edwards. Shot, score, filthy goal there from number 22. That's Jack Barnes. And these man-down situations are really killing Christ School. Little bench press celebration from the Ravens. Love it. Love to see that. And they're getting pretty jacked up here as a good quarter. I mean, they're leading 3-2 so far here in the second. So, I would be surprised. Excuse me, I hate to interrupt. I just wonder if some of those early shot attempts had gone down for the Ravens, what this game looks like. But of course, I mean, we're still looking at over 30 minutes left in this semifinal contest.
Absolutely, and these goals are coming right at the right time, right before halftime, as Johnson is able to make Shondell work, but I believe Shondell will come away with the win there.
Yeah, so good face-off win. Still, Lindsey putting his helmet back on, so we'll see if he'll come back in the game. Dodenhoff, Harrison, Bassett, Bird, who scored 2 this quarter. Good dodge there. Falling down is Will Dodenhoff, and a beautiful goal off the pass from Jack Harrison, his 3rd assist of the game, Dodenhoff's first goal. And a great play there from Christ School, able to respond. 11-3 heading into the next face-off. So real balanced scoring attack from Christ School. Lindsey with 2, Bird with 2, Dodenhoff, Manning, Marcus Berger with 1, and Sam Bassett and Jack Harrison with 2 of their own. So Davis Lindsey walking gingerly back onto the field. Good to see the number 22 out there. And back to the face-off X. And I would just imagine by the first touch, we'll see what Lindsey will look like for the rest of this game. So I forgot to mention, he did score a second goal, so sitting at 120, ties the record for most points in a season with Iorio. And we'll see heading into the remaining part of this game what he's able to do. That's Lindsey with the ball, surveying the field, thought about it, looking, finds Jack Harrison, but Peralta able to come away with it. Marcus Berger thinks about it, shot right into the net. Good save there. 8-13. Man, still 8-13 left in the second quarter. Val Edwards knocks the defender over. Big kid there for the Ravens. That's Barnes, already scored 1. Schneider, Wyman. It's Marcus Berger playing defense. Had a great game so far for Christ School. Good slide there by Majewski. Back to Edwards. Gets a step. Good slide by Masson. Greenies really pressing defensively, relying on their help. That's Mikey Peralta. That shot attempt goes wide. Schneider there to keep possession for the Ravens. Good job there by McNichols to force Schneider to give it up. That's the matchup we're going to be looking for throughout this game. .646 left. That's Majewski doing a good job defensively without holding. And great defensive possession so far for Christ School. And a save, great save there by Hekimovich, able to get it away. Greenies are off and running here. 5-on-4 situation, 6-on-4. Kevin Masson able to give it away to Marcus Berger, can't corral it, gets it back. He's got a step, sees Sam Bassett, and I'm telling you, when Sam Bassett is that open, he is not going to miss. So great pass from Berger. Did get fouled, and found Bassett. And Bassett scores himself goal number 61.
Credit to Kevin Masson there on the defensive possession, able to get it down there quickly and get it to Berger, and then Berger to Bassett with the finish. And now Ravenscroft will call a timeout.
Yeah, so big couple of minutes here after 3 goals. It was 3-2 in this quarter in favor of the Ravens. And now it's 4-3 after a couple of great possessions from Christ School. But what are some of the things you're seeing, either offensively for Christ School so far this game, or even offensively for the Ravens? You choose.
Well, I'll start with the Ravens. They kind of started out the game kind of rusty, a lot of turnovers, but they were able to come out a couple timeouts, and especially after the first quarter, they were able to come out and really get it going on offense. Taking their time, get a good look. Especially with the man up, taking advantage on that. And I think that's kind of been what Christ School has always kind of wanted to work on, is their man down situations. And, we see teams like Ravenscroft take advantage of it.
Yeah, it was kind of their Achilles heel last year, obviously able to come away with the state championship, but nonetheless, a lot of the times that they got into man down situations, kind of things got ugly for them defensively. Here we've seen 3 man down situations. I believe the Ravens have scored on 2 of those. So something that they definitely want to stay away from heading into the remainder of this game. Christ School does lead by 9, 12-2. But, we've seen new life out of the Ravens so far this quarter. So Patrick Johnson, who's done a great job so far this game, only won 3 faceoffs, but still, 8 for 11 from Sean Dow is below what he's normally capable of. So Patrick giving him I wouldn't say fits, but, giving him some trouble here, which has been great for the Ravens as well.
And that's been a huge spark plug, even for the players on the sideline as well, getting loud and rowdy.
Yeah, absolutely. So offensively, if Sean Dow is able to come away with this, we see Lindsey, Bassett, Harrison, 3 guys with over 55 goals on the season offensively. And Sean Dow is looking to get that on a kind of a fast break opportunity, but he'll slow things down and come off the field as Fitch and Bird are on. Let's see who. Oh, okay, so Sean Dow will stay on, just switching sticks away from the face-off stick to more of an offensive stick here. It's kind of a zone defense here for the first time, not wanting to press Christ School out that far. Kind of more of a matchup zone. Sean Dow had a go. Perfect angle for us here. Missed it by just about 3 or 4 inches. Greenies will keep possession with 5:28 left in the half. Found him. So Davis Lindsay looking for Sam Bassett just over the net here. Let's see what he's able to do. If we haven't mentioned it, Davis Lindsay, just a junior, headed to Loyola next year. They're still in the tournament. Just defeated, I believe it was Syracuse 15-13. And kind of the position that Davis will be playing there is currently taken by one of the best players in the country, Pat Spencer, who is the first pick in the PLL, the Premier League draft, a couple weeks ago. So,
wow.
Yeah, he had 6 goals and 3 assists of his own, as Davis doing a good job trying to get a ride here. Don't want to commit a penalty, and he forces the turnover. It stayed, nope, it went out of bounds, so great job there by Lindsay, playing both offense and defense. Good to see him back on the field for Christ School. Davis Lindsay, Fitch, Manning scored earlier. Parker Bird's got 2 of his own. Sam Bassett with 3. Harrison with 2. Greenies doing a good job moving the ball here. Jack Fitch thought about it. Parker Bird, the lefty, so 2 lefties out. Oh, great move there by Jack Fitch. Even better pass from Parker Bird. And great play from Christ School, as they now lead 13-3 with 3:24 left in the first half.
Great play by Jack Fitch, too, able to get around the D and between 2 players and just finds himself open. And there's not a whole lot you can do if you're the goalie. Yeah, it's one of Christ School's best plays. I know they ran it quite a few times against Charlotte Secondary. Was that alumni weekend? Was that just last weekend?
I believe so.
Oh, my goodness, man. The end of the years go by so quickly. But able to run that play, have a guy come around, as they're going to call it trip, so be a man down. Oh, Greenie's able to come away with it, though, as the Ravens didn't have it. Bassett moving the ball. Davis Lindsay, oh, filthy. That shot came around GLE, was looking down to the other side of the field, whips it over his head, and he's got number 121 on the season. So Davis Lindsay with 3 goals on the game, and now is the single-season record holder with 121 points.
Wow.
This season, which has just been impressive, especially considering, he had the back, a little bit of a back injury early in the year, didn't play against Asheville School, and I want to say didn't play against Cannon as well. So 121 points in just, it wasn't a math major, but 20 games is pretty darn impressive.
Absolutely, especially when we talked about, the current player that's ahead of him at Loyola, who will be playing in the Premier League Lacrosse. Something tells me Davis is going to be just fine.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch these last 3 years. Crazy to think, came in as a freshman, and was with those guys. I was speaking with Coach Miles about some of the offensive players that he had 2 years ago, and talking about Iorio and Hunter Vines, Riley Smith, Joyce and Q, all playing college lacrosse right now, and then joining them was a 14-year-old freshman in Davis Lindsay who did a really good job of being that fifth guy, being unselfish, wasn't always looking for himself, and now kind of taking over the reins, so to speak, with some of these younger guys. Kind of a weird face-off situation there, but Jack Fitch moving, surveying the field, looking, didn't have it, thought about it, shot goes wide. Lindsay will keep it. So still 3:43 left. That's Sam Bassett. Sam Bassett, he's going to shoot. Good save there by number 30. And that's actually longer than I feel like I've seen the ball in Bassett's stick before. Normally gives it up real quick, but saw an opportunity there to get a good shot off. Jack Harrison, good pick there from Jack Fitch. Good job sliding. Bassett gave it up there to, that's Keith Zugelhor.
from Ontario, Canada. That's Davis Lindsay. Defense by number 16. Lindsay draws the slide, looking for the offensive player. Finds him. Parker Bird. Shot off the post. Great pass and catch. Unable to finish, but a good play from Christ School. Great cut from Parker Bird. All right, so Christ School going to call a time out here. Definitely going to try and figure out a play to run here with 2:42 left in the first quarter. Excuse me, first half. All right, so Greenies probably devised a play. Always got to prepare for situations like this. Bassett, Manning, Fitch, Bird, Harrison. Davis Lindsay coming around GLE, found him and missed it. That was I'm surprised that happened, but definitely a fantastic play from Christ School, drawn up there by Coach Roth, offensive mastermind for Christ School. Fitch looking for Lindsay. Not sure what the call was there, but the one thing I liked about that play was the fact that you have two of the top offensive players for Christ School, one coming around GLE, and a great back cut there from Bassett.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen many plays that Christ School's been able to do successfully, and they're in this position for a reason. Home field advantage. Bassett unable to finish. Not very common that we see that, but
yeah, absolutely good move there by Schneider. We mentioned he's a Dodger. Shot, wow, that shot ripped by Val Edwards, who didn't score, but a lot of power behind that shot. That's Predator, scored 2 goals in the last game. Behind the back, just stop it. Ray Predator. And, I don't care what team I'm cheering for. That is a gorgeous shot and always fun to see. Wow, what an impressive goal. He had 3 goals in the last game against Christ School, his first today. But, sometimes I feel like behind the back should count for 3. And for as pretty as that goal was, maybe 5. But we have 1 minute, 20 seconds left, 14-4. Christ School leads. So back to the face-off X here. Let's see what Sean Dow's able to do. Let's see what Christ School and even the Ravens are able to do here in the last minute. And change off the races. Dangerous between the lines. Finds him, Jack Harrison. He's got time. Shot, score. 3 seconds later, Greenies respond. Sean Dow, assist number 21 in the season, to Jack Harrison. And, that is a very quick way to make your presence felt. And Jack Harrison, he's kind of been the third guy on offense so far. I hate to even say that, just in terms of goals scored.
Yeah.
But he has been fantastic for Christ School this year. Last year he had, Davis Lindsay and and Hunter Vine scored a few, more goals than he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so consistent last year. And then to see him out here this year competing and playing as hard as he does, man, just a fantastic kid on the field and especially off the field as well. So great goal there from Jack Harrison. Marcus Berger with the dodge. We are now officially under a minute left in the first half. That's Sam Bassett. Good shot, good save, even better save by number 30.
Ravens better hurry up and get a touch. Oh.
So we'll see what the call is here.
There's a huge hit by Harrison there. Good to see nobody hurt as we see the Ravens will be man up here.
Yeah, another man-up situation. I believe they're 2 of 4 or 2 of 3 on the game. Let's see what they're able to do here. So end of the first half, Christ School leads 15-4 over the Ravens of Ravenscroft in this NCISAA semifinal. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so to bring you the second half of this game.
Hello?
Welcome to Christ School.
Cool.
Follow me.
Your future is coming for you. But don't worry, we'll get you ready.
I'm Mary Jane Morrison. I teach English. This is my 30th year, Christ School.
And I'm Lee Harris. I work in the math department and the outdoor program, and this is my 29th year at Christ School.
During my time here, I've seen many changes at Christ School. We've seen, obviously, the renovation of the chapel, renovation of the dining hall.
Not only have the students and our population grown, but the buildings have also grown and become much better. The campus is today much different than it was when we first came here.
The hallmark for me of Christ School is we are always moving forward, yet we're maintaining our traditions. And there's something about the Christ School student, I think, that's very endearing, and that has been a constant.
It's not so much the academics as it is the values and the morals that we're trying to create here for them to become good husbands, good companions, good fathers. And so I think that that is part of what the school is all about, and part of what going forward the school's going to continue to do.
People that we've remained friends with through the years, the faculty that have gone on to other places, the thing they always say is, you know, I really like it here, but I've never found a community like Christ School. And I think that's as true for we, the faculty, as it is for the students. And I think that's why the students come back.
We've had an outdoor chapel nestled right on the edge of the lake ever since I arrived. But what once was just a clearing in the woods and barely big enough for 50 or 60 people now is a beautiful space, a very sacred space for everyone here that allows us to enjoy the beauty of this setting here in the mountains, but now can accommodate the entire community.
Life is short, and we do not know how much time we will have to gladden the hearts of those who travel this way with us. So be swift to love. Make haste to be kind. And may God, who is beyond our ability to fully understand, but who knows us and loves us, and travels with us, bless us, and keep us in peace. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be upon you, and remain with you always. Amen.
It's really gratifying for me as a coach who started the program, but I think even more so the players that have played here for the past 16 years, not just this team, but guys that played in 2002, 2003, and so on. It solidified in how important this experience was for so many, and I think that's why. That's why I coach. You want this to be something important, something memorable, and something that you can look back on years later and be proud of. And I think that's what we've done, and I think our players this year have been able to link alums from all years and celebrate it.
All right, let's give it up for the first time in school history.
I knew in the locker room this would be ours today. So proud of the effort, from November on, every single one of you. Today was emblematic of who we are. Everyone played their role perfectly, and we got it done, boys. First ever state championship for Christ School.
1, 2, 3, together!
Is there?
All right, so we're back here for the second half. Christ School leads 15-4 in this semifinal matchup. They will start the half man down, looks like. So Ravenscroft will be going from right to left on your screen. That's Val Edwards with the ball. Let's see what they can do in this man-up situation. Ball over to Predator, who had a beautiful behind-the-back goal to end the half. And an unfortunate turnover. It'll be Spencer Dyer looking to take the ball out. Still starters offensively for both Christ School and Ravenscroft, obviously. Spencer Dyer on the move, headed to North Greenville, D2 next year. No one's picking him up. Let's see what he can do. He's going to have a go. Nope. Unselfish play. Great job defensively from Spencer Dyer. That's Parker Bird looking to get to his left hand. Dodge. Val Edwards playing good defense there. Marcus Berger coming on. So look for Lindsay on the far side of the field to consider killing this penalty. Sees Coles Manning coming on the field. Thought about it. Nothing. Coles Manning, Berger, Bird, Bassett trying to carve out space. Coles Manning, great save there. We've got a change defensively. That's Connor Doherty playing the second half as well as what I saw Sam Bree warming up during halftime. Imagine he will come in here in the second half in goal for Christ School. But Connor Doherty, a junior, playing in goal. Coles Manning thought about it. And another save. Two great saves on two shot attempts for Doherty. So one more goal, and it will be a running clock situation. So look for the Ravens to try and get a good possession here after turning it over on their first one of the half. That's Enlow. Didn't see much of him in the first quarter, or excuse me, first half, but played great in the first matchup against Christ School.
Christ School's playing tight man-to-man. Not really letting Ravens get anything on offense as Harrison is taking it.
Yeah, Jack Harrison off on the run. Nobody picks him up. Shot. Bounced it about as good of an opportunity as Harrison ever gets. Unable to put it away, but Christ School keeps possession. So good job defensively by McNichols to knock it away. That's Lindsay. Playing draws two other defenders. Still looking to give it up. Looking, surveying. Parker Bird. Great job by number 18 Predator to step in there and steal it. Predator, man, behind the back. Master. I mean, another one there. Real comfortable doing that. Looking for a good possession. Val Edwards, but knocked away from Kevin Masson. Great job there. Marcus Berger, dangerous between the lines. 4-on-4. Dodge gets to the right hand, but another save by Doherty, who I've been very impressed by so far. Dodenhoff runs in. Multiple people trying to come away with it. Dodenhoff, good job, good hustle there. Marcus Berger wide open, unable to put it home. Good pass from Lindsay. And a good job there. Headed in the opposite direction as Schneider, number 17. But Will McNichols has been all over it to start this second half. Able to stay in bounds, but Coach Jeff Miles will call a timeout. Good job there to call a timeout. All right, Spencer Dyer restarting possession for the Greenies. Over to Hekimovich. To Kevin Masson. Great job moving the ball. Masson over to Spencer Dyer, and this is something that they practice every day, so great job by the Greenies to get it. Dyer over to Jack Harrison, able to corral it. That's Davis Lindsay. Able to score with both hands here. Looking, got a cutter coming on. That gets, looks kind of like a deceptively slick field today.
Yeah,
seen a couple guys
Yeah,
go
seen
down.
a couple guys slip and fall. Seen Sean Dow earlier. Jack Fitch a couple times, but able to get back up. Coles Manning able to restart possession.
Greenies moving the ball here as if kind of in a man-up situation. That's one of the things that they do so well when they find themselves man-up. Parker Bird shot saved. 4 saves from Connor Doherty in this half, and they have yet. Let's see what's going on here. Good job giving it up. Spencer Dyer looking to come away with it. Patrick Johnson comes away with it. Good job by Patrick. Looks up, but knocked away from Dyer, but didn't get a touch. Oh, they called it a timeout. All right, so timeout called when the ball was in Patrick Johnson's stick. So we'll be back shortly after this timeout. 15-4 in the semifinal matchup between the Ravens and Christ School. All right, everyone a little bit confused of what happened here, but Davis Lindsay with the ball. Able to get across free. Had a second 3-guy slide over to him. Ball over to Jack Harrison. That's Coles Manning, never mind. Thought about it. Second chance opportunity there. Coles Manning scores his second goal of the game, and Christ School now leads 16-4.
Great. That was a great move by Coles Manning, too. Able to catch it, pump fake it, and then on his left hand, shoot and score. Another great goal by Coles Manning.
Yeah, Coles Manning certainly dangerous from about that far away. You know, I think they saw or thought about that one when he was open earlier, when he was able to rip to score the 4th goal of the game. And he definitely had a great fake there, able to get 2 or 3 steps in and put that one home from the left side. So great job there. So 16-4, 6:57 remaining. Jack Fitch does get a touch for Christ School. Coming on the field will be Coles Manning, who just scored for the Greenies. Val Edwards guarding him. Sam Bassett going to find himself open, but another save from Doherty. So offensively for the Ravens, we see Schneider, Predator. Schneider thought about it, had a chance there, able to give it away from long range, number 22. Jack Barnes thought about it. That one by Val Edwards sails over the net, but they will keep possession. Predator restarting it. So press man-to-man defense from Christ School. Really trying to get in the hands of these offensive players for the Ravens, and they've done well so far. As that's Spencer Dyer on Predator, who's a dangerous player for the Ravens. Val Edwards corrals it. Oh my goodness, what a goal. And he missed one earlier that he shot about that hard, and we were impressed at the ability to put that kind of power behind it. And we see what happens when he has time, and that was a beautiful goal from Val Edwards to make it 16-5.
Yeah, Val Edwards, he's a senior, making the impact on this game. Could be his last game. You never know with the playoffs. This is kind of an older Ravenscroft team, and you know, they're going to be they're definitely be trying their best here in the playoffs to keep those guys back.
Yeah, they had a 16-11 win against Greensboro Day in the first round, as Sean Dow wins the faceoff to Marcus Berger, unable to corral it, and he gets it back. Shot scores. Marcus Berger. That was a strange looking goal for Christ School, but they will take it to make it 17-5. And it looks like he got a nice pass there from Jack Harrison, wasn't able to corral it, got knocked up in the air, got it back, and able to throw that one home.
It's a great 50-50 ball. Anybody can go up and get it. Berger able to come down, and he's made a huge impact on this game as well, both on offense and defense. As we see, Johnson started early. Possession with the Greenies.
Yeah, so Greenies taking no chances here, still have starters in. So first line attack, and Harrison, Bassett, and Lindsay remain in with the second string middies of Dodenhoff and Berger in for Christ School. Dodenhoff, oh man, almost a pretty goal there as he beat 3 or 4 guys, couldn't quite get past the 5th, and Ravenscroft comes away with it. That's Schneider, McNichols. It's been a fun matchup all game. Schneider with 2 goals, McNichols with a bunch of deflections and ground balls. Good pass there. Val Edwards, just stop it, young man. Val Edwards, man, when you have a threat like that from that far away, just absolutely tough. What an impressive goal. Little Jack in the Box. I believe it was a Jack in the Box celebration from the Ravens, and I think maybe we need to get the camera on the Ravenscroft bench after they score. Maybe this next time we can get that for you, because they've had some pretty impressive celebrations, certainly.
We'll for sure get an extra camera just to keep on Ravenscroft the entire game for their sideline.
All right, back to the face-off X, 17-6. Sean Dow looking to win the face-off. Good pressure from Patrick Johnson. That's Jack Fitch with it. Shot goes wide. Sam Bassett behind the goal, looking for an open cutter. Doesn't find it. Knocked away momentarily by number 24, Matt Hunter. Great defense here from the junior. Greenie's going to take their time, work it around here, get a good shot off, especially after that goal by Val Edwards. Jack Harrison dancing behind the goal, shot Looks like it was off the head of Charlie Winston. Uh-oh. We have an injury down. It looks like someone's holding their knee. And then another penalty. Waiting for the refs to call the whistle here, and they finally do. So don't want to speculate on what's happening here, but we'll be back with some information as to what has happened here after this break. All right, so that injury was to number 16, Charlie Wilson, a senior. Can't obviously speculate on the severity of the injury, but only can hope that he is all right. If he gets back in the game, we'll let you guys know. Hope to see that. And a penalty on number 13. That's a 1-minute penalty for Sam Bassett. Val Edwards, guys got out to him quick after the 2 goals that he has scored.
Another man-down situation for Christ School. Let's see if they can finally get back to it.
Yeah, it's important, especially if Christ Schools is able to come away with this win, whether it be Providence Day or Country Day. Both of them have high-scoring offenses. The game was 16-13 last time Providence Day was here, and you cannot give Providence Day any man-up situations because they will convert. So certainly and a good opportunity for Christ School to practice that man-down situation. Schneider thought about it. Good defense there by the short stick. Able to get in there. Goal scored by Schneider. And actually, they're going to wave that one off as he was in the crease. But a great move, great dodge, great spin from Jake Schneider. Just, winning the crease there at the last minute. So Berger gives it up to King. Spencer Dyer comes away with it. Seems like a little confusion here from the teams, but we see the second string attack in now. We see Hudson Ford. We see Nate Kelly, the freshman from Asheville, and Jack DeBose alongside Keith Sugelhor, Marcus Berger, and Mike Peralta. So Berger will come off, Dodenhoff in. So this will be a good time for some of the second string guys to get in here, get an opportunity as, their experience and their time will be needed if they're able to come away with a victory here today against whoever the Greenies might face.
Yeah, it's important for those guys to get time, especially with a lot of seniors graduating this year as
Was that number
Keith-
10? Yeah,
Keith
Keith
Zugelhor.
Zugelhor. Yeah, what a goal. Did you see who passed it to him? I missed that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was Jack DeBose.
So great pass from DeBose and a goal from Zugelhor. And the Greenies now with 18 goals to the 6 of Ravenscroft. So, sorry, finish what you were saying because I think Keith was making your point there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important when these guys get playing time, especially with a lot of seniors graduating this week, and next year they'll be in this position, and they'll be the guys that everyone else will be looking up to.
Yeah, wonderful senior day last weekend against Charlotte Secondary. We recognized 14 seniors, which is just crazy to think about. Some of these guys have been in the program for 4 years or 3 years, and to say goodbye to those guys, hopefully with their state championship appearance and hopefully a state championship. But it was a great afternoon, even though it was a torrential downpour. But Greenies came away with a victory in that one, 13-3, and they only played a half. But, yeah, you're right. Fantastic senior leadership from these guys this year. And so any time that these guys can get in and have an opportunity is going to be important. As that's Mike Peralta behind the goal, being defended by Patrick Johnson. 7 seconds left, 6. That's Dodenhoff. They got to let him know. Don't know if he knows here. Looks at the clock, gives it up. DeBose. Can he get it off? He won't. So at the end of the third quarter, Christ School leads 18-6 over the Ravens of Ravenscroft.
We're back for the fourth quarter. Sean Dow up against Patrick Johnson for the faceoff, and Sean Dow wins it. Greenies going from right to left, and DuBose unable to hold on to that. There's a scramble for the ball. And DuBose able to hold on to it, and he's going to head towards the goal. Now Peralta will hold it. Now off to Dodenhoff to DuBose. Hudson forward with the ball. He's a senior. Green's just spreading the ball around to chew up some time. Dodenhoff shoots, unable to get it. Unable to get the goal there from DuBose, but Hudson Ford able to stick with it. Greenies keep on possession. It is a running clock. Mikey Peralta, fast shot. Big scramble for the ball. Who comes up with it? That is Matt Barnes. Matt Hunter. Ravenscroft the other way. And what a goal from number 25, Val Edwards. We've been calling his name all day. Able to get another goal. He's been a huge spark plug for this Ravens team. And the bench is going crazy. Score is 18-7 with 9:51 left in the game. And looks like Colin Schott is in at face-off. And the Ravens will come up with the face-off win. Now we see Schneider getting up, has the touch. Able to draw the double team. High pass, unable to corral it there. Bo Hekmovich with the ball. And Kevin Masson advancing. Great move, gets a touch. And he will give the ball up to Grant Majewski. He'll shoot. Bouncer over the goal. Hudson Ford there to keep possession.
Four 440 record. Was it 29?
Great poke check there. And a flag down as Schneider with the ball. He'll advance it. Getting chased down by a couple of greenies. Zugahor on him, able to knock the ball loose. And here's Val Edwards. We've been calling his name a lot today.
Great save there by Hekmovich. And we'll see what the penalty is here. Another flag, probably going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's not what you want to see late in the game. Your team already up by a lot with a penalty already down and most likely in unsportsmanlike conduct there.
So 8-11. All right, so a 30-second slash called on Nate Kelly, followed by a 1-minute unsportsmanlike penalty on Will McNichols. So he'll sit, and that'll be a full-time penalty, regardless of whether or not the Ravens score. So 2 men down here for at least 30 seconds. Ravens will move the ball looking for a good shot, not a time to get a turnover. Schneider looking, Predator, Edwards, that'll go up, and that'll be into the woods. But that's the kind of shot you're looking for. Predator to Schneider. Schneider thought about it. Good slide there. Shot saved. Great save. Close range save from Hekmovich. They're going to send 3 different players at Masson. Still able to come away with it. Great possession here. So a 30-second penalty should be over. They've not sent him on. He's coming on now. Good defense by Dyer. Wyman looking. Schneider. Still 1-minute penalty. Gets a step, another save. Hekimovic doing a great job here. That ball up to Marcus Berger. What an outlet here. Greenies off and running. And a great job killing a two-man down penalty. That's Peralta and Parker Bird, Ford, DeBose, Kelly, and Dodenhoff. So just two seniors out there in Ford and Dodenhoff. Then you have a freshman, two sophomores, and a junior. As Sam Bree will come on defensively for Christ School to play goalie. Great job, especially that last possession from Bo Hekimovic.
Yeah, I mean, he's played an outstanding game so far and a great season. A huge reason why Christ School has had the success that they've had.
Yeah, Bo Hekimovic, just a junior, has started for Christ School since he was an eighth grader. Was in that first state championship game. So when you talk about experience, having a goalie who's really seen it all and been a part of two state championship teams and looking to get a fourth consecutive state championship berth, to have a guy like Sam Bree able to back him up is such valuable experience for Christ School. Hekimovic will be headed to High Point in 2020. So a lot of future college players for Christ School.
He'll be joining Riley Smith and Hunter Vines, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. So Riley at that point will be a senior, Hunter a junior. But to have three alumni from Christ School lacrosse playing together at the collegiate level, there's nothing more exciting than that. And in fact, one thing that happened earlier this year was that a player, two guys that graduated last year, Hunter Vines and Max Bree, played against one another as St. Bonaventure played High Point in the first game of the season, and quite a few Greenie players, as we see a save from Bree, went out to that game to celebrate and watch those guys at the collegiate level. So really a special experience, and it was definitely fun to watch. So defensively, we see Masson, Dyer, Majewski, Parker Bird, Ross Oakley, and James Lilly, who comes in to knock it away. Good job by Lilly. And that's Kevin Masson with the ball. Good defense there by Ross Wyman. Mikey Peralta finds an open Dodenhoff. He'll shoot, and that goes just wide. 4 minutes remaining here in the game. Berth to the state championship on the line. That's Hudson Ford with the ball. Creates the slide, gives it up. Dodenhoff, Parker Bird. The right hand for him is his left, and that goal is scored. Parker Bird off the beautiful pass. Unselfish play by Will Dodenhoff, and the Greenies now lead again by 12, 19-7.
Coker Ford is now on defensively for the Greenies.
Yeah, two Fords in the game for Christ School. Colin Schott, the face-off X. I think with 3 minutes to go, I think it is safe to say Christ School will play on Saturday. I believe the Charlotte Country Day and Providence Day game doesn't start until 7 p.m., so it'll be a little bit until they know who they're going to play. Christ School has played both of those teams so far, and I'm going to check on those scores just to see what we might expect. Obviously, played Providence Day well over a month ago here at Christ School, and that was a 16-13 game. Incredibly exciting, the amount of goals that were scored. As Hudson Ford nearly scores there, Connor Doherty, who I've been incredibly impressed with so far in the second half. About 10 saves on his own. And so then Christ School also went on the road to play Charlotte Country Day and came away with a victory in that one, 10-7. So both teams the Greenies have played, they've only won by 3 games. It is going to be a wonderful state championship. We're expecting great weather, and I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen in that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. We've played both of those teams so far this season, and the Greenies are very prepared as to which either team to play, and they're going to be excited. No matter who they are playing, they'll be able to host the game, and it'll be a fun matchup to watch for sure.
Yeah, I can't say, this is my 4th year here at Christ School, and the first state championship appearance that they played in was at Ravenscroft. But, the state championship, at least for the last 3 years prior to this one, has been won by the team that hosted. So in terms of having the ability to not travel, like you mentioned, such an important thing for the home team to have that advantage, to sleep in their beds, to be here. And so we'll see, what happens on Saturday as Christ School looking for, a three-peat. And I know a lot of these guys, it's not something you want to look ahead to, and you're going to have to come out and play with that same intensity because these teams are hungry. They've fallen to Christ School each of the last 3 years, and so the last thing that they want to do is, come out and lose in the state championship. So we'll see. It's going to be a great experience. We're certainly excited. Christ School Broadcast Network will be bringing you that game. I'm not sure yet what time it's going to be. It's probably a 1 p.m. start, but that'll be up on the website later this week. That's Hudson forward to Nate Kelly behind the goal. Sees Dodenhoff, thought about it. And it looks like Mike Peralta hit both posts there for a moment. Patrick Johnson with the ball now looks up to Val Edwards. And not the guy you want to have the ball. And he's got the long stick now. But a great job by Coker Ford to knock it away. And now Peralta's going the other direction with just over a minute to go. Gives it up, finds Nate Kelly. Nate Kelly over to DeBose. And what a gorgeous play. The whole length of the field. Great defense there by Coker Ford to give out Peralta. Unselfish. Nate Kelly, Jack DeBose. And Greenies now with 20 goals. I think some of the guys on the sideline are starting to celebrate a little bit as they know what winning this game means not only for them but also for this program. And it's weird to think that just one game left in Coach Miles' coaching career here at Christ School.
Yeah, it's definitely weird to say out loud, and words can't describe how what he's done for this program, and just from the beginning, from if you look at how this program looked in, I believe it was 2001, and 2001, and it didn't. I think they only won 1 or 2 games, or the first 2 seasons, and
they were 2-13 overall, and then we actually talked about it a little bit in assembly the other day. Just the fact that 2-13 in the first couple of years, but since 2003, they had won 10, at least 10 games. 2005, 10 games, and then on top of that, they've won at least 15, and now for the first time ever in school history, 20 wins for this program, looking for number 21, which will be even sweeter if they're able to come away with that victory. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about what we saw from Christ School in this game here today, Thomas.
Well, you were able to see a lot of unselfishness, and Christ School was able to have a number of guys score, I believe. How many was it?
Yeah, let me see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys scored, 11 assists.
Yeah, so that's outstanding. And this offense, what they're able to do, just spread the ball around and take advantage of time and time of possession. And Ravenscroft shouldn't hang their heads at all. They played a tremendous game, and they have a lot of juniors on the team, so look forward to seeing them next year as well.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic game. I know obviously the first quarter didn't go the way that the Ravens wanted. They were down 8-0 early. But if you look at the score after that, I mean 20-7, it was to a 12-7 game, and so some might say that maybe Christ School took the foot off the gas, so to speak. But really, when we're talking about guys like Jake Schneider, we're talking about guys like Connor Doherty in goal in the second half. He was fantastic, and Val Edwards, who just was absolutely just throwing in lasers from all over the field. Really a fantastic performance from their squad today. They shouldn't go home hanging their heads. The 4 seed came in here and, gave Christ School, all they could handle in the last 3 quarters. So ultimately, excited for the Greenies to be headed to their 4th consecutive state championship, looking for the three-peat. And, that game will come in on Saturday. And like we said, either Country Day or Providence Day, whoever it is, one of the things that Coach Miles has mentioned from day one is that they've got to play as hard as they possibly can and then just play their game, not worry about the opponent. And one game away. I mean, that's what you play for, and we're almost there.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. I'm excited. I know these guys are excited as well. They've been working hard, since the winter. Just the amount of work that they've put in and time and effort, and now to say that their time is finally here is it's kind of gone by fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we just want to thank you guys so much for being with us on the Christ School Broadcast Network, bringing you this matchup between the Ravens of Ravenscroft and the Greenies of Christ School. Final score, 20-7 here in the semifinal. Christ School headed to their 4th consecutive state championship. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back on Saturday, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks.